All right, Christensen and Trevin Dory is set to tip this thing off, and we're ready to get it going. And the tip-off controlled by Utah State as the Aggies moving right to left in their all-whites. Utah State sees Sean Bairstow get into the lane, has to kick it back out to Funk. Funk then rotates up top to Shulga. Shulga tries to cross over his man, bounce pass to Jones, driving baseline. His skip pass in the post is blocked at the rim, but he will get some free throws. Sean Bairstow couldn't quite finish the dunk, but my goodness, that would have brought the house down here early on.
Yeah, you notice we talked about it at the very beginning, but for our listeners, the way these guys play defense is they get on the high side and they force everything to the sidelines, no matter where it is. And if you can actually get over that and get into the middle, then they're going to be out of position. In that situation, Ryland beat him to the baseline, and Sean got a dunk opportunity.
Sean Bairstow misses the first free throw, but makes the second, so our first point of the night, Utah State leading Utah Tech 1-0. So here we go, Utah Tech, their first offensive set of the night. Isaiah Pope kicks it right, hands over to Gooden. Gooden gets baseline, takes the floater, and knocks it down. Good movement by, again, Cameron Gooden, averaging 16 points a game. Gets the first bucket of the game for the Trailblazers. Shulga looking for Funk, decides to keep it himself, drives into the lane, leaves it for Dorius. Dorius pump fake, and then the two-handed dunk. Great job being patient and waiting for a great opportunity. And a flopping call is going to go against Utah Tech.
Wouldn't be a college game without the flopping call, so that I can comment on how much I love it.
He's coming in hot, folks. Taylor Funk's going to take the technical free throw. And Gooden is the one that gets hit with the technical on the flop. I'm not going to lie, I'm not a big fan of this.
Of the call?
Of the call. It just slows the game down, stops it.
I understand, but I tell you what, do it a whole year and get flopping completely out of the game. I don't mind it.
4-2, Utah State, the old-fashioned three-point play, the bucket, the technical, and the free throw. Christensen kicks it back to Nichols. Nichols driving, then works it left. Long three is up, and it is good. And Utah Tech takes the lead back, 5-4. Crossing the timeline is Shulga. Shulga working right to left. Utah Tech not a great three-point shooting team, but they take a lot. And if they get hot, watch out. This could be a problem. Shulga crossover, driving, spinning in the lane, leaves it back for Funk. Funk takes the long three and just misses it. And a nice rebound pulled down by Christensen. Quickly in transition, it's Gonsalves, takes the shot, misses it, and the rebound pulled down by Bairstow. Outlets it quickly to Funk. Funk back to the basket. Still working the dribble. Then works it left, and a cross-court pass easily stolen away. And Isaiah Pope is fouled, driving by Ryland Jones. So Utah State, that was going to be a key moment, and you talked about this as a key to the game. Can't turn it over, especially unforced errors like that.
Yeah, it really is. Just don't open the door for Utah Tech to have too many opportunities in transition. It's exactly what happened there.
Gooden comes around the screen, gets in the lane, pump fake, spins, floater up, and floater good. And Utah Tech with a 7-4 lead here early against Utah State with 18 minutes left here in the first half. Gooden, obviously a huge spark plug for this team. Bounce pass in the lane to Bairstow. Bairstow in trouble, though. And is he tied up? Nope, still tries to get rid of it. And what will they hit him with? 3-second call in the lane. So another turnover on Utah State. Nice pass, but just couldn't do anything with it once he got in there.
Yeah, he caught himself a little too far underneath the rim and didn't have an exit to get rid of it.
So with Utah Tech leading by 3 with the ball, Isaiah Pope. Now Gooden. Gooden cross-court pass back to Nichols. Nichols then leaves it to Gonsalves. He'll try to cross over, can't do anything with it, then leaves it to Christensen, who's attempted 2 threes on the season. His pass tipped and stolen away. Trevin Dorius with the deflection and Dorius with the steal. Ryland Jones, transition 3. A little long, rebound pulled down by Nichols for Utah Tech. No problem whatsoever with Ryland taking that shot, though, in transition.
No, that's great. I like that shot a lot.
Gonsalves with a long pass, takes it on the near side, then rotates back left. Now trying to drive, cut off. Leave it for Christensen. Pump fakes the three, drives, nearly lost the handle. Ryland Jones dives on the court, but Christensen able to get it, swings it cross court back to Gonzalez. He takes the three and misses it and airballs it, and the crowd will let him know about that one. Aggies down 7-4, 16:44 left here in the first half. Aggies have gone on a scoring drought over the last 2 minutes. Turnaround three is up and missed. And Taylor Funk, although Dorius pulls down the offensive rebound, he can't get his jumper to go from about 5 feet out. Aggies have had some good looks, just aren't falling. Gonzalez, crossover, then works to the right side, leaves it left. Long three is up, and long three is missed. But a nice offensive rebound by Christensen, and a foul down low, and that will probably be what, number 2? Nope, it'll be against Dorius. Aggies have missed their last 4 field goals and on a scoring drought of nearly 3 minutes.
Yeah, Ryland's down there. I don't know if he got hit in the head, concussion. I think he got hit in the head.
So Ryland Jones still down on the court, laying on his back. That brings us to a timeout. We'll go ahead and take it with 16:18 left here in the first half. Utah State trailing Utah Tech 7-4 on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Still down on the court, lying on his back, being attended to. Again, I did not see the hit, and I did not see the fall, but you worry about whenever you land on your back and you hit the back of your head when you hit the court.
Yeah, I think, and once again, I couldn't see as well. Christensen, Trevin was in front of him, and Christensen, the ball came on a long rebound, and he went up, and Ryland was behind him, and I'm wondering if Christensen might have caught him when he came down and hit him with an elbow or something, because Ryland didn't fall until after the contact.
Ryan Odom there kneeling next to him with the training staff. 7-4 is our score as Utah State jumped out to a 4-1 or a 4-2 lead, but other than that, it's been a 5-0 run from Utah Tech as, again, Ryland Jones still being attended to on that baseline, and Dan Akin and others coming over there to keep an eye on him as the officials are still trying to figure out how best to handle him. But this is now turning into a pretty scary moment here, Spencer.
Yeah, anytime someone's down on the ground that long, especially Ryland, who is obviously a very tough kid, you're wondering what the circumstances are. And like I said, when I could see after the contact and he went to the ground, he looked a little dazed and was just kind of looking around. So I would imagine it was some type of hit to the head, but I don't know for sure.
Gives us a moment to talk about Utah State and America First Credit Union, featuring the academic success of USU student athletes on various social media channels. The America First Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Shelby Calponch. Congratulations from the volleyball team. And how about the volleyball team winning the Mountain West Conference tournament and punching their ticket to the NCAA tournament.
And give those girls a lot of credit. Give Rob Nielsen a ton of credit. Rob's done a great job of coming in and recruiting well, and obviously getting this program to the top of the Mountain West. The last 2 seasons have been really, really good. So congratulate Rob and wish those girls good luck in the NCAA tournament. So
kind of a quiet, concerned moment going on here now, and they're kind of holding his jaw a little bit, and that's a concern. That's an even bigger concern too, as they've got a towel and kind of holding his jaw in place. And so you worry if he took an elbow to the jaw.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking logically, Christensen goes up for the rebound and Ryland's up underneath him, and Christensen comes down with the ball, and I don't know if he catches him with an elbow, but that's what would be logical in this situation, which, I mean, he's a big dude. Christensen is a really big guy. Just being strong, getting a physical rebound and coming down and hitting someone with an elbow, that would be very, very bad.
You can hear the applause in the background. Ryland Jones now on his feet, and he will be helped as he walks off and will go up the tunnel. And a really, really scary situation. And again, we're not able to see much. Now Utah State's huddling, so we're not really able to get a front view of what's going on. But it looks like Ryland Jones, certainly his night is done, and we wish him the best as he is taken right up that tunnel where he will be administered to after that, but by the training staff. But my goodness.
Yeah, I obviously wish Ryland the best, and hopefully it's not something serious.
Gonzalez will inbound on the baseline. A lot of good pressure, finally able to get it out up front into the game. Isaiah Pope as Utah Tech rotates back to Gooden, working it right. Baseline drive by number 14, Dancel Leader. Still working in the post. Turnaround jumper over the top of Stephen Ashworth, but a little long. And Utah State pulls down the rebound. Funk quickly to Ashworth, who's just been on fire from outside the three-point line. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Shulga drives, shows, and then has to kick it back to Funk. Rotated to Bairstow. Bairstow driving, floater off the glass, won't go. Tipped around and controlled by Gooden. But Christensen causing a lot of problems in the paint.
Yeah, he's not a super great athlete, but he's high IQ, and he knows where to be, and he's contesting those shots when people are getting in the lane.
Gonzalez has the ball ripped out of his hands and stolen away. Good job by Shulga poking it out, and Akin comes away with it. Ashworth on the left baseline has the ball poked out of his hands. Finally able to try to slip it to Akin. He is able to control possession, and Utah State will reset outside the three-point line. Max Shulga up against Christensen, and Christensen gets the foul as Shulga drives into his chest. 7-4, Utah State trailing Utah Tech here in the early stages of this game. Into the game comes Trey Edmonds.
And that's 2 on Christensen, so that's actually pretty impactful.
That is. So Trey Edmonds, 6'10", 250-pound sophomore from Aurora, Colorado, only averages 10 minutes a game, but will probably be called on here for a good stretch. Bairstow checks out. Z Hamoda, who has been fantastic defensively, has got a block shot in every game this year. And none bigger than the one he had against Oral Roberts down the stretch in that game. Long three by Ashworth, missed. And Akin can't pull down the offensive rebound. Looked like he had it for a moment, but it slips out of his hands. Stain into the game for Utah Tech, leaves it up top to Leader, and then hands to Gooden. Gooden comes around a screen, back to Edmonds, to Stain. Stain gets to the elbow, then retreats, and tries to post up Edmonds on the block, up against Akin, and Akin blocks the shot. Akin comes away with the block shot. Funk comes away with the ball. Funk in transition. He takes the three. There we go. Taylor Funk buries the three, and the Aggies have tied the game up 7-all with 14:28 left here in the first half.
Hopefully that takes the lid off the rim from three-point range. The Aggies start making a few.
Yep. Gooden works right side, then drives, trying to work against Ashworth, leaves it for Gonzalez. He'll drive into the baseline. The Lehigh High School grad leaves it up top to Leader. Leader outside the three. Down low to Stain. Stain back up top. Leader takes the jumper and knocks it down over the top of Funk. Nice jumper as Utah Tech takes the lead back 9-7 with 13:55 left in the first half. Aggies had missed 7 shots in a row before finally getting that three. Stephen Ashworth driving in a little bit of trouble, needs to get rid of it. Swings it up top to Shulga. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Shulga cross court to Hamoda, trying to post up Funk. Funk gets it on the left low block, swings it all the way to Ashworth to Shulga. Shulga for three. No good. Great ball movement, great look. Shot just wouldn't fall. Everything you want there in a possession.
Yeah, good possession, and they've gotten good looks. They're just not knocking them down right now.
9-7, Utah Tech with the lead. Gooden against Ashworth. Gets a nice screen, takes the floater and misses it. And the rebound fought for and brought down by Shulga. It's a funky-looking floater there, too.
Yeah.
Shulga, he drives, swings it cross-court. Is he going to get the offensive foul? No, blocking. Sometimes you worry about that crash and pass, but it is a blocking call up against Utah Tech. Pope's going to check into the game. R.J. Idlerock, who might have some more minutes in this game than normal, checks into the game with Ryland Jones suffering the early injury. Idlerock's role might increase in this one. Ashworth swings up top to Funk. He's got a good look for three and knocks it down. Taylor Funk with 6 points and back-to-back threes, and the Aggies have taken the lead back 10-9.
From our angle, that was hard to see. That was a good 6 feet behind the three-point line. That was deep.
So much swagger with that shot.
Yeah.
Gooden, who's been fantastic here in the early stages. Search dribble, has the ball knocked out of his hands by Hamoda, but still able to recollect. Leaves it down to Edmonds. Edmonds gets hit with the offensive foul as he bullies over Z Hamoda, and Hamoda draws the charge. Trayvon Alfrey's going to check in. West Jordan native, played at Seattle, has only averaged about 5 minutes a game, but with the foul trouble early for Tanner Christensen, they're probably going to have to work some guys in to try to work around that foul trouble.
A couple Utah kids, West Copper Hills High School.
Stephen Ashworth working right to left, hands to Hamoda. Cross court to Funk. Funk outside the three-point line, gives it back to Ashworth. Then to Hamoda. Hamoda's got a good look. He'll take it, leaves it a little bit short, and the rebound pulled down by Alfrey. Cross-court pass as Utah Tech tries to take the lead back. Led for a good chunk of this first half. Back to Alfrey. He'll square up, take the three, and miss the three. And Z Hamoda pulls down the board. 10-9, Utah State with a 1-point lead. 12-10 left in the first half. Hamoda spins in the lane. Hamoda in trouble and walks with it. Yes, travel against Z Hamoda. 10-9, Utah State leads by 1. And the Aggies have already turned it over in this game.
Is that three or
times.
four? 3 times.
Again, turnovers have been, obviously a great start here for Utah State. But one thing that they're going to have to work on is turnovers, especially turnovers like those.
Yep.
Coming around the screen, Isaiah Pope, and the pass intended for good and stolen away by Ashworth. Ashworth will lay it up and get the bucket. Stephen Ashworth, first bucket of the night, is a pick 6, and the Aggies lead by 3, 12-9. Gooden works to the right side of the court. Ashworth comes out to meet him outside the three-point line. Looking for Pope. Pope in trouble. Hands back to Alfrey. Alfrey outside the three-point line. Atkins trying to harass him. Finally leaves it for Frank Stain. Stain takes a pass, is hit while he passes it, and the ball goes out of bounds. No foul. Is it a turnover? Yes, it will go to Utah State. 12-9 is our score. Aggies lead by 3. 11:27 left in the first half on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. To bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you can save. Geico.com, easy. Well, it certainly has not been easy for Utah State. We just, via Twitter, remember you can reach us anytime via Twitter during the game. On the video, it says it looks like the Christensen elbow hit him right in that neck jaw area. You just talked to Tommy Nunez, the official. He says the same thing.
Yeah, he confirmed that that's what happened. He didn't see exactly where he got hit, but that's in line with what you said, them kind of holding his jaw. Man, I hope he's okay, and hopefully it's not broke.
RJ Idlerock again into the game, and RJ, if there is an extended amount of time in which Rylan Jones is out, will be called upon probably in a much bigger role than he has had to start this season. Big thanks to D.L. Evans Bank for supporting Aggie Athletics. D.L. Evans Bank, a community bank with local employees helping their communities succeed. Aggies lead 12-9. Stephen Ashworth working right to left, crossing the timeline. Z Hamoda, who just turned it over on a travel call on the previous offensive possession, wants to take another crack at it. Drives, cut off, leaves it back for Ashworth. And Ashworth is fouled by Gooden. Ashworth just cranked the three after the foul and made it. Crowd said, hey, we'll take the three instead of the shot, or instead of the foul. But the Aggies will inbound on the far sideline. 11:06 left here in the first half. 20 seconds on the shot clock after the foul. Inbound to Akin, right back to Ashworth. Ashworth thought about the three, instead drives, gets into the lane, a little bit of trouble, and the ball deflected away and stolen away, and Gooden comes away with it. Here comes Utah Tech, the Trailblazers, 3-4 on the season, as Nichols back into the game. Thought about the three, instead hands back to number 22, Frank Stain. Leaves it to Alfrey. Down low, spin, shot, missed, but a foul will go against Utah State as Nichols got good positioning, spun, and I believe Atkins the one that's going to get hit with it. Or no, Bairstow, excuse me. It's the third team foul on Utah State. 5 team fouls on Utah Tech. This will be the first free throw attempt for Nichols and first free throw attempt for anybody from Utah Tech. Nichols, a tremendous free throw shooter. Makes the first free throw. I tried.
You did. Gilbert High School. I think former Aggie great Brennan Ray was a Gilbert High School graduate, I believe.
Nichols 18 of 20 on the season, including that last free throw, and make it 19 of 21 from the free throw line. Although Utah Tech has not made a field goal in the last 3.5 minutes. Trying to get that press, and RJ Idlerock in a little bit of trouble and draws the foul on the far sideline. But that's what Utah Tech's going to try to do to you, to get in trouble and work you to the base or work you to the sidelines to try to create turnovers.
Yeah, absolutely. Juddy's pulling a page from Stu Morrill's old book, doing what's we call changing D. After a made basket or made free throw, they're going to their 1-2-2 defense. It's not necessarily meant to steal the ball. It's just meant to take time off the clock so that Utah State initiates their offense in the low 20s, rush them up a little bit. But it is opportunistic if you get caught in that corner, which obviously breaking a press, that's not what you do, but that's what happened there. They're going to take advantage of it and trap.
By the way, no foul call on the far sideline. It was a timeout, so RJ Idlerock gets the timeout. So Utah State will have 23 seconds on the shot clock. 10:37 left here in the first half, and the Aggies holding on to a 1-point lead, 12-11. It might be that kind of a game where it just kind of, just kind of feel like nobody can really get into any kind of rhythm. It's a really disjointed game.
Yeah, and when I said I don't remember not being able to get in a rhythm when you come back from 9 days off, I think we're probably seeing some of the effects of that, honestly.
Stephen Ashworth controlling the dribble, draws Alfrey out beyond the three-point line. Swings it left to Hamoda, looking for Bairstow. Bounce pass. Bairstow, though, 10 feet away from the bucket. Goes to work, double team, hands back to Hamoda. He rises for three, leaves it short, and Utah State can't seem to connect for three. One of the best three-point shooting team in the country coming into this night, percentage-wise, and they're 2 of 9 on their first 9 attempts. Stain hands to Gooden. He'll take the three, and he'll bury the three from straight away, and Utah Tech has taken the lead back against Utah State, 14-12. Sean Bairstow on the right wing, hands to Hamoda, cross-court back to Ashworth. Ashworth steps up, he'll take the three to answer, and he gets it right back. Stephen Ashworth, his first three of the night, and the Aggies take the lead back by 1. Pope in transition, he misses the three badly. RJ Idlerock takes it in stride. RJ leaves it back for Ashworth. He'll take another three, miss it, and Bairstow's a little out of position for the rebound, and here comes Isaiah Pope quickly going the other way. Pope gets to the elbow, hands to Gooden. He'll take another three, and he'll bury it. Back-to-back threes for Gooden, and just like that, Utah Tech back up by 2, 17-15. And Gooden is having himself a night tonight. He averages 16 points a game. He's got 10 on 4 of 5 shooting here in the first 11 minutes of this game. Ziamoda drives, cross-court pass to R.J. Idlerock, and he'll get hit with the offensive foul. There's your pass and crash as Hamoda drives into lane, and an offensive foul goes against him. Hamoda's going to step out of this game. A little out of control in this game for Z.
Well, like we've talked about, Utah Tech is forcing them to the baseline, and the help is already there waiting for them. That's what happened with Z.
Gooden, who just was hit back-to-back threes, works to the left side of the court, takes a step back, picks up his dribble, and then leaves it to Pope. Pope trying to post up his big man, Edmonds. Edmonds against Atkin, gets around him, floater missed. Had a great look, good positioning to get open, but just couldn't finish the floater. Taylor Funk, who's got 6 points in this game, actually 7, excuse me. Funk on the right wing, posting up against Edmonds. He gets caught up in the trouble on the baseline, and a pass intended for Shulga. Shulga slides to the court to try to get it, and his foot goes out of bounds, and it's a turnover for Utah State. Atkin looks over to the guys and say, hey, let's all just calm down here. We're okay. Aggies down by 2, 17-15. For Utah State, that is turnover number 6 on the night. Utah Tech also with 6 turnovers. Trey Edmonds, number 2. Looking for Gooden. Gooden comes and collects, then passes left to Pope. Pope to the elbow, then retreats behind the three-point line, then drives again, gets his man up in the air, and it'll be a travel. Trey Edmonds put the foot on, or tried to hit the brakes, but the feet just kept on going.
Tell you what, he got Dan in the air, but he got a little excited and shuffled before he went back up when he was trying to gather himself.
Coming back into the game will be Frank Stain. How long do you hold Christensen out? Do you put him in before the half?
If the score's like this, no. You know,
Yep.
I mean, if they're back and forth and they're in it, no at all. If Utah State goes on a run and starts doing some stuff inside, then you probably do.
Ashworth to Bairstow to Shulga. Shulga gets around his man, drives, left-hand layup up and in. Got right around Jacob Nichols and had a leisurely stroll into the paint for the bucket. And we're tied up at 17 apiece. Isaiah Pope comes around a screen. Pope caught up in traffic at the elbow, leaves it down low to Edmonds. Edmonds against Atkins, cross-court pass to Gonzalez. Gonzalez, he'll take the floater from at the free throw line, and he knocks it down. Ashworth outside the three-point line to Bairstow. Bairstow looking for Atkin. Atkin on the left low block. Here comes the double team. Atkin needs to get rid of it. Finally, bounce pass to Funk. Funk to Bairstow. Bairstow caught up, can't make the layup attempt, and the rebound pulled down by Utah Tech. Good job getting the ball to Bairstow with a good look, but Bairstow, again, just can't seem to find the shooting stroke, whether it's beyond the three-point line or at the rim. Missed shot by Utah Tech, taken away by Atkin. Leaves it cross-court to Bairstow, back to Atkin. Atkin then to Funk. Funk on the baseline drive. Swings it cross-court to Ashworth. Ashworth drives, shot, 3, yes, nestles it home. Stephen Ashworth hits the 3, and the Aggies back up by 1, 20-19. Now it's about getting stops on the other end.
Absolutely. Ball's starting to go in the hoop.
Aggies have assisted on 3 of their 7 made field goals tonight. Working to the right side, swings it back up top. Pope swings it right, long 3 is made. Gonzalez is able to knock it down, and every time Utah State takes the lead, Utah Tech makes a bucket on the other end.
Stu used to call this the Mutual Admiration Society. I'll get a basket and I'll give you a basket.
Utah State 39% from the field, Utah Tech 44%. Taylor Funk to Ashworth. Ashworth to Shulga. Shulga's got a good look for 3, a little long, and Funk gets the rebound, tips it to himself. Great offensive board. Funk drives, leaves it to Bairstow, but Bairstow can't handle the pass and goes out of bounds, and a turnover will go against Utah State. 5:54 left in the first half. Utah State trailing Utah Tech 22-20 on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. 22-20, Utah State trailing Utah Tech. Utah Tech's not messing around tonight. They're here to play. Aggies trailed by 2. Aggie Scoring Summary brought to you by your Utah pork producers, providing safe and wholesome products to Utah families for over 25 years. Visit utahporkproducers.org. It's been a back and forth game, and I like the reference to Stu. Every time Utah State gets a bucket, feels like they're ready to go on a bit of a run. Utah Tech answers right back. Aggies have led by, their largest lead has been 4, but every time they're able to hit a big shot on the other end, Utah Tech answers usually back with one of their own from beyond the three-point line. They're 4 of 8 from 3. Utah State is 4 of 13 from 3. Utah Tech came in not a particularly good three-point shooting team at just 32%. Aggies coming into this game number 1 in the nation in three-point shooting at 47%. You knew that 47 number wasn't going to hold.
Yeah.
But if you can stay in the 40s, you'll certainly take it.
Absolutely. And you look at the 2 keys, we're just watching turnovers and rebounding, and Utah State's not winning either of those battles yet.
And a pass deflected out of bounds. Utah Tech unable to corral it as Frank Stain loses it on the far sideline. And Utah State sees Utah Tech turn it over. That's the 7th turnover on Utah Tech. Actually, 8 turnovers. Utah State was 7. Max Scholga on the right wing. Drives and is fouled, and that will send... Nope, that's only 5 team fouls, so that's a 16th foul. One more to get Utah State in the penalty. But Max Scholga, as the Aggies getting hit with the turnover bug tonight, and it's across the board too. Everybody seems like they're getting in the mix on the turnovers. Z Hamoda controlling the dribble. Leaves it for Scholga. Back to Hamoda. Back to Scholga. To Hamoda. Thought to try to get it to Ashworth. Couldn't. Hands to Funk. Funk 4 feet behind the line. You know how this ends. Knocks down the 3. Utah State back up by 1. 23-22. All right. Utah State needs to stop here.
See what they can pull out.
Gooden, who's hit a couple big threes in this first half, drives baseline, hands to Stain. Stain swings it cross court to Leader. Leader then back to Gonzalez. And then to Edmonds. Edmonds driving baseline, spins against Akin, loses the handle on the way up and draws the foul. Akin gets hit with the foul. 23-22, Utah State leading by 1. And that will send Leader to the line for a couple of free throws, where he is a 64% free throw shooter.
Dan Epps, he had great position, but he just slipped in with his left hand and got it caught in there, and it got tangled up with the shooter.
Utah Tech 44% from the field. Utah Tech 44%, Utah State 40%. First free throw is up and good. We're tied at 23 apiece. Here comes Leader with another free throw. Averages nearly 7 points a game and makes both. Started all 31 games last year, averaged about 10 points a game, has had a little bit of a smaller role on this year's team. Stephen Ashworth gets to the line, then hands over to Funk. A little bit of trouble, gives it to Ashworth, and then cross court to Scholga, then back to Ashworth. Ashworth drives left baseline. Can't find anything, leaves it back up top to Hamoda. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Z will drive, leaves it back to Ashworth. Wide open baseline 3, yes! Aggies patient and getting good looks, and now knocking down the 3.
Yeah, talking about getting to the first side, then getting to the second side and making the defense move. They were successful in doing that, obviously, there.
26-24. Gooden up against Ashworth, gets a screen. Aggies switch. Ashworth then comes back on Gooden. Gooden attacking the lane, off the glass, got it to go. And Gooden with 12 points in the first half. Funk with 10, Ashworth already with 11. Got 3 players already in double figures in this game tonight for both teams. Scholga swings it cross court to Hamoda. Hamoda looking for Akin. And you'll see a double team coming here pretty quick. Leaves it back for Scholga. Scholga behind the 3-point line. Post up Akin, here's your double team. Back to Scholga on the left wing. Scholga works baseline. Scholga attacks, leaves it for Akin. Akin floater with the right hand, rattles in.
The ball stayed on that side probably too much, but a little bit of movement. They've got to get it swinging.
28-26, 2-point lead for Utah State. Gooden crossover, beautiful crossover, takes the 3 and knocks it down over the top of Ashworth. And Utah Tech takes the lead back, 28-29. Aggies unable to get kills back-to-back stops in this game.
Gooden's playing really good basketball right now, obviously.
15 points in the first half. Nearly already at his per-game average. Ashworth to Shulga. Shulga back to Ashworth. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Ashworth drives, leaves it for Akin. Akin pump fakes and is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. Foul will go against Leader. Came up, met him, and draws the foul. Akin goes to the line for 2 free throws when we come back, trying to take the lead back for Utah State. Utah Tech not messing around. 29-28, leading Utah State by 1 with 2:53 left in the first half on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. (29-28) is our score. Utah Tech leading Utah State by 1. Aggies trying to go 6-0 to start the season, but Utah Tech not walking away from this one, not conceding anything, as the Aggies not necessarily struggling offensively. It's now they're getting into a groove on the offensive side. It's the defense that's really had some issues.
Yeah, you look at percentages. Utah Tech shooting 55% from 3 and 50% from 2. Obviously, they've got to do a lot better that by the end of the game. They're supposed to have their opponent down in the low 30s from 3-point range and under 40 from 2-point range. So Gooden's caught a little bit of a wave, and he's on fire, and I think he has 15 so far this half. And then the rest of the crew is just kind of supporting Cass. But got to figure out what to do on that pick and roll with Gooden, because he's playing off of it really well, and he's getting downhill and then pulling it back for the 3 or going all the way to the rim.
Akin's going to step up to the line for 2 free throws after being fouled on that last possession. Akin from the free throw line. First shot is up and good. Akin mentioned when he started his career at UMBC was a miserable free throw shooter and felt really bad because his first impression here at Utah State was missing 4 free throws. Since then, he's been pretty good from the line. Okay.
What are you doing right now?
I wouldn't do this if it was late in the second half. He makes it. But with that said, he's like, look, I'm a good free throw shooter. I was a little upset with myself because I couldn't make them early. But since then, and he's had critical free throws at San Diego, against Oral Roberts down the stretch in games, has had big moments from beyond the line.
Yeah, he's done well.
Crossover, step back, jumper, good. Oh my goodness, Cameron Gooden is putting on a show here in Logan. And Utah Tech leads 31-30 after the Aggies had momentarily taken the lead back. Ashworth cross court to Funk, reverse layup up and in. What a beautiful pass. Funk gliding into the lane and laying it up and in.
You notice the adjustment. Z Hamoda is now guarding Gooden. They switched that at the timeout.
Each team has made their last 4 field goal attempts. Gonzalez works to the right side, gets a nice screen and an offensive foul. I said nice screen. Well, it was a illegal screen as it goes against Utah Tech. 32-31. Aggies finally get a stop after taking the lead. Let's see if the Aggies can go on a bit of a run here in the last 2 minutes and try to put a little separation between themselves and Utah Tech before the half. Ashworth will cross the timeline. In case you're just joining us, Rylan Jones took an elbow to the face in the first 5 minutes of this game, was on the court for a considerable amount of time, and then finally taken to the locker room. Driving, Funk leaves it for Akin. Akin's two-handed dunk and was fouled too. No foul call, should have been. But Akin, a nasty dunk, and the Aggies lead by 3, 34-31. Gooden, who's been fantastic, 17 points in the first half. Leaves it back to Alfrey. And a travel call against all three, and the ball will go back to Utah State. Leader's going to check into the game. All three has only played about 5 minutes a game and has only seen time in 3 games for Utah Tech, and that inexperience starting to show here for Utah Tech. 34-31, Stephen Ashworth gets a screen from Funk, leaves it back for Funk, and he'll rise 3 and miss it. You don't see him miss a 3 like that much.
Yeah, Gooden was up on him. It's just Gooden's about a foot shorter than he is, so he thought he could just shoot over the top of him. Didn't go well.
No. Funk, though, with 12 points in the first half, 11 for Ashworth. 1:15 left in the first half. Gooden trying to cook a little bit. Finally leaves it on the left wing for Wright. And then works it back to Leader, to Gonzalez. He's on the right wing, driving, in traffic, leaves it for his man, missed, but the putback up and in. Alfrey couldn't get it to go, but a nice tip back, and we're back to a 1-point game, 34-33. Ashworth on the left wing. Leaves it to Akin. Akin, then back to Ashworth. Ashworth thinking about the 3, but finally gives it to Shulga. Shulga drives. Shulga's got positioning and is fouled at the rim, and he'll go to the line for 2 free throws. 34-33, Utah State leads, but just by 1 with 39 seconds left here in the first half.
Something that I'm sure the coaches are going to be showing these guys. I talked to you, it's kind of hard sometimes as a player in the minute to be able to see it, but when they're driving, being forced to whatever side it's on, it's the opposite corner that's wide open. Z Hamoda sat there for 15 seconds just waving his arms. That's what you do at halftime. You point that out and try to make it at the adjustment.
Shulga makes the first free throw. One more coming up to push this to a 3-point lead, and he does. Max Shulga, who's been great from the free throw line this year. See, I waited till afterwards.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And he went 2 for 2, and Utah State leads by 3, 36-33, 33 seconds left. All three in a little bit in trouble. Atkins got a hand in his face, still driving into the lane, and does he travel again? He does. That's a walk, and Utah State can now hold for the final possession to take the lead into half.
I don't know if anyone recognized that play. That was dribble. That was Stu's old dribble that they ran with the guard coming off the wing and setting a screen on the big. But good job by Utah State defending that.
Ashworth will cross the timeline and will dribble and probably start with, about 8 seconds left?
Yeah, they usually go 10 and 8. I always believe you should go at 6 to make sure.
Ashworth draws out Alfrey, swings it left to Hamoda. Hamoda driving, swings it cross court back to Shulga, up top to Funk. Funk with 5 seconds left for 3. No good. And the rebound pulled down. Gooden's going to have a look. He takes the shot, misses it. Are they going to call the foul?
Yeah, absolutely. Hit him in the face.
And Gooden is going to go to the line for 3 free throws. Holy smokes.
Yeah, he got his hand in the cookie jar, unfortunately.
Gooden's going to go to the line to try to tie this game at half. Now they're going to go look at the clock to see and make sure that he got it off in time. But if he did, and I think that's the case, the foul is going to go against Funk, contesting the shot. But the Aggies, this could be a massive 6-point swing here. Funk had a good look, couldn't get the 3 to go with 5 seconds left. Gooden takes the shot and is fouled from half court and will go to the line if it stands for 3 free throws. And it's going to stand.
Yeah, and Funk knew it the second that the whistle blew. He knew he just made a mistake.
Slapped the scorer's table, then kind of hits himself a little bit and said, yep, that was me. I screwed it up.
Yep, unfortunately. Going in at halftime, and obviously if he makes all 3, then it's a tie score, and got 20 minutes.
So Gooden's going to step up to the line. No time left. But the Aggies will still go on the blocks, as Gooden will have 3 free throws. Actually, now they do put .3 left on the clock. So Gooden with a chance to tie the game and get to 20 points in the first half. Makes the first free throw. 2 more coming up. 36-34. Second free throw by Gooden is good. And if he makes this, he'll have 20 points in the first half against Utah State. Third free throw. 3 dribbles. Shot is up and shot is good, and he makes all 3. And Utah State will inbound and then go right to the locker room. How about that? Cameron Gooden with 20 points on 7 of 8 from the field, 3 of 3 from 3, and those were his first 3 free throws. He knocks those down as well. 36-all, Utah State and Utah Tech. You're listening to Aggie basketball from Learfield. With a chance to take the lead back. And here we go. Utah Tech in their all reds with white trim up against Utah State, home whites with blue trim. Gooden, who had 20 points in the first half, picked up at midcourt by Ashworth to Tanner Christensen outside the three-point line, looking for Gooden, coming around the screen. Gooden then kicks it left. Long 3, looks good, and it is good. Bearing it from the left wing is Jacob Nichols. And here comes Utah Tech. If you end the last 3 points, a 6-0 run by the Trailblazers to take the lead, 39-36. Taylor Funk hands to Ashworth. Comes around the screen, leaves it to Shulga. Shulga trying to work baseline. Caught up by Christensen, able to get around him, but double teamed as he picks up his dribble. Hands to Ashworth. His 3 on the baseline is missed, and Christensen pulls down the rebound. Ashworth thought he was fouled on that shot. No call. And so here comes the Trailblazers with a 3-point lead, trying to shock the Aggies. Christensen works it right to Pope. Pope against Sean Bairstow, looking for Gooden. Gooden gets it at the right elbow. Retreating behind the three-point line, hands to Nichols, who just hit that big 3. Trying to slip it to Christensen, and the ball goes out of bounds. That's off of him, and it is. Nope, it is not. Thought for sure that was going to go off Christensen, but instead they say off Utah State. Now just 6 seconds on the shot clock. Gonzalez hands over to Nichols. Nichols driving, Nichols reverse layup up and gets the friendly roll and gets it to go. And the largest lead of the game for Utah Tech at 5 over Utah State. And a stunned Aggie crowd as this Aggie offense is now going to have to shake loose here. Shulga driving, Shulga reverse layup up and in. Beautiful move by Matt Shulga trying to get something going here for Utah State. He is really athletic. Gonzalez steps back, takes the 3 in transition, misses it, and Trevin Dorius pulls down the rebound. Quickly gives it to Funk, outlets it to Ashworth. Ashworth puts his foot on the gas, shows, leaves it for Dorius, ball poked away, able to reclaim, hand to Ashworth for 3. Yes, sir! Stephen Ashworth for 3. He's got 14 points on the night tonight. 5-0 run for the Aggies, 41 all. Gooden outside the three-point line. Has not taken a shot attempt. He changes that here and misses. Only his second missed shot on the night. Quickly hands over to Funk. Funk on the rebound. Drives to Shulga. Tries to drive baseline. Leaves it for Bairstow. Lays it up and in. Aggies on a 7-0 run. And Utah State leads by 2, 43-41. Timeout on the court. We'll take a coach's timeout on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Bryant Heating and Cooling, a proud supporter of Aggie Athletics. There are 5 main types of Bryant Heating and Cooling systems to meet home comfort needs. More information is available at Bryant.com, whatever it takes. Well, the Aggies trying to figure out whatever it takes to get past Utah Tech, a very, how should we say, pesky Utah Tech Trailblazer team.
Yeah, just hanging around. I don't know.
Much like something that hangs along when you bring something back with you, like Boise. It just keeps flaring up time and time again, but somehow it never seems to go away.
Scott, what did you bring back from Boise?
Oh, my guy Hans Olsen's listening right now, that's all. He and Lloyd Cole on their way to Vegas.
I do want to point out they've done a great job of whipping the ball around to the second side and getting it to Scholga, and then him attacking on the baseline. On the first side, it's not there, but on the second side, when you make the defense moves, that help side defense isn't as quickly, isn't already positioned there, I guess you would say, and it's giving Scholga the chance to drive that baseline, keep moving the ball, and then attacking it once they make the defense move.
Gooden with 20 points, Ashworth with 14, Taylor Funk with 12 for Utah State, and the Aggies have taken the lead back on a 7-0 run after the John Judkins timeout. Remember John Judkins, the son, he'd laugh at that, the brother of Jeff Judkins, Juddy, longtime BYU women's coach, played at Utah State. Only one of two players to ever have a triple-double in an Aggie uniform. Shaler Holloman's the other one. Gooden on the drive, and a foul goes against Utah Tech on the screen. And so Utah State will get the ball under their own bucket after the turnover. Max Scholga crossing the timeline, working left to right. Dorius comes up to get a screen. Scholga goes the other way, then uses the screen. Scholga swings it cross court to Ashworth. Pump fakes, drives, baseline jumper from 10 feet out, nestles home, and Utah State on a 9-0 run, lead by 4. 45-41.
That's the pass, the cross court to the corner against this type of defense.
Leader to Gonzalez. Gonzalez on the right wing. Finally gets it to Gooden. Ashworth fights through the screen, but Funk comes out on the switch. Swings it back to Christensen, down low, nice pass, and Leader lays it up and in. Dancel Leader on a nice pass. And we talked to some of the coaches before the game, said that one thing Christensen brings to the table, he's also a good passing big man. Bad pass by Scholga, stolen away, and here comes Utah Tech trying to tie this game up. Driving is Gooden, swings it out right. Here's the three to take the lead, and there's the three. Isaiah Pope hits it from the right wing. Utah State on a 9-0 run. Utah Tech answers with a 5-0 run of their own, and they're back up 46-45. Taylor Funk to Ashworth. Ashworth driving, leaves it for Bairstow. Bairstow takes the floater from the baseline and gets it to go, and the Aggies back up 47-46. I think this is the night we're going to have tonight here, though, back and forth.
That's what it looks like.
Leader, who just had a nice layup, driving, then reversing, and then coming back, getting it to Christensen against Dorius. Nice pass again to Leader. Leader shot missed, but draws the foul, and Christensen with some beautiful big man passing.
Little Arvydas Sabonis in him.
That's a good pull. Aggies have made their last 5 field goals in this game, but still only lead by 1, and Leader's going to step up the line to try to take the lead.
You do notice, though, and I pointed out, but I guarantee they pointed that out at halftime. All of the Aggie baskets so far have come from that corner drive after either the whip around or the skip pass.
Leader makes the first free throw, ties the game up at 47 apiece, and will try to give the Trailblazers the lead. Here comes the second free throw, and that is up and missed. First free throw miss of the night tonight for Utah Tech, which is now 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Utah State 6 of 7 from the charity stripe. Funk thought about the three. Gooden comes out to guard him. Now to Scholga. Scholga works the right side. Scholga drives, cut off. Hands back up top to Funk. Funk rises, but then decides against the three. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Scholga's got to go to work. Scholga steps back. He takes the contested three, misses it badly, and Gooden comes away with it. Not the shot you wanted in this situation. Gooden driving with the game tied up, leaves it back for Leader. Leader just went 1 for 2 from the free throw line, then kicks it over to Pope. Pope will drive, and Pope will draw the foul against Bairstow. And I believe that is the second team foul on Utah State, and Z Hamoda is going to check in as we're under our under-16 timeout. 47-47, Utah State and Utah Tech all tied up on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Welcome back to the Spectrum. Utah State, Utah Tech all tied up at 47 apiece. Hey, calling all Aggies in Utah, show your affiliation with Utah State while contributing to student scholarships with the Aggie license plate. Visit usu.edu/A-plate for more information. All right, Spencer. 5 minutes into the second half, and Utah State has not been able to create any distance. Led by 5, and then all of a sudden, Utah Tech came back and took the lead back, and it's probably going to be a game of runs throughout the rest of this thing.
Yeah, you're right. Z Hamoda coming in defensively, we need him to kind of impose his will and be the defender that everyone knows he is, to get some stops, and then the offense keeps strumming.
After the foul, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Gooden to Gonzalez. He'll take the three and miss it, and the rebound pulled down by Ashworth. Ashworth working left to right. Ashworth gets to the baseline. Double team. Cross-court pass to Hamoda. Hamoda will come back to the logo, then get a running head start, driving. Swing it up top to Shulga, then to Ashworth. Pump fake, step back, take that three. No good. And Hamoda tried to sky in for the rebound, but Christensen's able to rip it down. Gooden. Back to Leader. Swings it back to number 21, Isaiah Pope. Pope then back to Gooden. Gooden coming around another screen. And a foul is going to go against Hamoda as he got tangled up with Leader. And Tommy Nunez tried to describe exactly what happened, and it looked like he kind of tried to rip his face off. I don't know, that was a pretty exaggerating motion there by the official on what was exactly going on. By that motion, you would think he'd be arrested for assault.
Yeah, that was
pretty extreme, Tommy.
Good acting by Tommy.
I love it. He's one of the best out there.
Can we get a flopping for Tommy?
Yeah, no doubt. Inbound to Christensen. Bad pass, stolen away. Shoulder with the ball. Aggies trying to take the lead. Leave it for Hamoda. Hamoda attacks. Can't finish at the rim, and the ball tipped and kept in play by Utah Tech. Hamoda a little out of control and couldn't finish at the rim. But Utah Tech with an offensive rebound on another pass, and a foul down low is going to go against Utah State, and Leader's going to go back to the free throw line. So the foul against Utah State. Aggies wanted a foul on Hamoda on one end, couldn't get it, and an offensive rebound, and they're going to get Ashworth with the foul on the reach end. Would look like a legit foul, too.
Yeah, it was. He wanted to get the ball, but he got wrist.
Leader's free throw is good, and Utah Tech back up by 1, 48-47. And this is where Utah Tech, I got to imagine, wants to play this thing. Keep it disjointed, keep it ugly, don't allow anybody to get into a rhythm. Leader's second free throw is up and missed. He's 2 for 4 from the line tonight, and the lead is 1 for the Trailblazers of Utah Tech, trying to pull the upset here in Logan. Stephen Ashworth hands to Funk. Funk, who got hot, hit 3 threes in a row in that first half, and then has been pretty quiet since. Funk gets to the baseline. Funk spins, swings it cross court again. Back to Shulga, to Ashworth. Ashworth for 3. Yes, Stephen Ashworth bearing the 3, and the Aggies back up by 2, 50-48. Ashworth now 5 of 9 from 3. He's got 19 points. He is playing phenomenal basketball right now. Gooden being guarded by Ashworth. Gets around him, gets in the lane. Swings it cross court. Drive on the baseline. Knocked out of the hands of Pope. Hands to Christensen to Gooden. Gooden takes the 3. No good. And the rebound tipped around, finally controlled by Akin. Outlets it to Ashworth. Ashworth hands back to Funk. Funk drives. Funk cut off. He'll take the jumper, miss it. And the rebound pulled down finally by Gooden. Aggies lead by 2, 50-48. Gooden on a trailing Leader takes the layup and gets it to go. Aggies not getting back defensively, and we're back to tie game. Funk back to Ashworth. Swing it cross court to Hamoda. Hamoda trying to drive baseline. His floater off the glass, no good, and an offensive foul is going to go against Z Hamoda. We're all square at 50 apiece. 13:20 left in the second half. Trevin Dorius is going to check out. Funk is going to come in. Bairstow is going to come in for Z Hamoda. And the Aggies are going to have to gut this one out.
Yeah, Aggies going big right here. Both Dan and Trevin are going to be at the 4-5. We haven't seen this lineup.
No, I don't think we've seen this lineup at any point this year.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Shulga, Akin, Dorius, Ashworth, and Bairstow. And Idle Rock will check in on the next dead ball. Pope gets around a screen, works to the left side of the court, still driving, puts the floater up with the right hand, and no good. And another foul is going to go, and this one's going to go against Utah Tech. That'll go against Tanner Christensen, and that'll be foul number 3 on Tanner. Keep an eye on that. Would you give him a rest here?
Tanner?
Yeah.
No, you keep playing him. He's got 3. You let him go.
It's not like he got tired there in the first half, only playing 5 minutes.
I think at this point with 3, if it was his 4, obviously, but.
Ashworth nearly took the heat check 3. Instead gives it to Akin, back to Ashworth. Ashworth is fouled on the far sideline. Good job creating contact, and Nichols gets hit with it. Ashworth is just sneaky. He's going to get you in a bad spot, get up underneath you, and draw the foul.
Yeah, and he knows how to sell a call. He's good. He's good with the contact.
Saying he's a flopper?
No, I did not say that. Sell the calls.
Bairstow on the inbound from Ashworth. Dorius comes out to set a screen. Bairstow crosses over, spins in the lane, lost the handle, is able to recollect, gives it back to Ashworth, 5 feet behind the line, no good. Dorius tries to tip it out, but instead, here comes Utah Tech. Pope leaves it back for Christensen, then hands to Gonzalez. Back up top to Pope. He'll take the 3. He can make that, but won't on that possession. Finally tracked down by Idle Rock. R.J. Idle Rock hasn't played a lot this year, but he may need some key minutes, especially if Ryland Jones is out for an extended amount of time. Drive, and a what? Either a foul or a
offensive foul.
Offensive foul, and that's against Ryland Jones. One thing we're learning from this officiating crew, they are going to call that offensive foul a lot in this game. And it didn't look like he extended the arm that much either. So, muddy basketball. It's not good right now, and it's not good for Utah State. Tied up at 50 apiece against the heavy underdog Utah Tech Trailblazers. Utah Tech has played really well, and this is their style of basketball. Isaiah Pope with the ball, nearly deflected away, finally controlled, driving is Nichols, and his pass is stolen away. Here comes Bairstow, leaves it for Ashworth. Ashworth does not take the 3 in transition, leaves it back to Idle Rock, who gives it back to Ashworth. Behind the back dribble. Ashworth still hammering it. Back to Bairstow. Bairstow outside the 3-point line. Looking to drive baseline. Here comes the double team, needs to get rid of it. Finally, and a bad pass stolen away by Gonzalez, and Ashworth forced to foul. Bairstow's been hit with a couple of nasty turnovers on bad passes tonight, and that brings us to our under 12 timeout. All square at 50 apiece, 11:46 left to go in the game. You're listening to Aggie Basketball from Learfield. .11:46 left here in the ball game. Utah State and Utah Tech all square at 50 apiece. Aggies have turned it over 3 times over the last couple of minutes. They're on a scoring drought of over 2.5 minutes. And Utah Tech just hanging in there, and hanging in there.
Yeah, I mean, those keys to the game, we'll revert back to those right now. Turnovers, Utah State with 11 turnovers right now, and we still have 11 minutes to play. They've got to take care of the basketball. And then the rebounding battle. They're losing the rebounding battle tonight, and that's not like the Aggies, obviously. Utah State averages a +10 margin on the boards, and to be down a couple rebounds to an okay rebounding Utah Tech team, but not a great rebounding Utah Tech team, those are 2 places that the Aggies need to firm up on, especially these final 11 minutes.
Did you know 74% of Utahns get prescriptions from a friend or family member? Not okay, folks. Know your script. Keep medication safely stored and out of reach and properly dispose of unused medications. To learn more, go to knowyourscript.org. All right, here we go. Utah State and Utah Tech all tied up at 50 apiece. Seems like we've been stuck at 50 for a while. Gonzalez, though, is going to have a couple of free throws. Utah State with 17 fouls. This is 1-1. Sorry, not two. Not two. Let's see if he keeps it at 1. Well, no, he does get 2. Makes the first one. Gonzalez' first free throws of the night tonight. He's about a 50% free throw shooter, but still early in the season. Has only attempted 13. He's now 7 of 14 from the line. Second free throw is good as well. And Utah Tech with a 2-point lead. By the way, Utah Tech with only 3 fouls here in the second half. Let's see how the Aggies handle some pressure here. Idle Rock. Looking for Scholga instead, rotates it left to Ashworth, then back to Idle Rock. Idle Rock a little confused, needs to get rid of it. Nice pass to Ashworth, the Funk. Funk drives baseline, swings it back up top to Idle Rock, takes the 3, makes it. Woo! RJ Idle Rock, a big 3 when Utah State really needed it. He was 1 of 5 from 3 on the season before that shot. Needed that one. Rising jumper, missed. Rebound, Akin quickly to Scholga. Scholga in transition. Right hand layup up and in. Akin, great lead pass to Scholga, and Scholga's able to get the layup. Aggies up by 3, 55-52 on a 5-0 run. Scholga in a little bit of pain, holding his left hip a bit. Nichols swings it cross court, back to Pope. See if the Aggies can go on a run here. Christensen on the left low block. Aggies don't bring the double team. Christensen swings it back up top to Gonzalez. Outside the three-point line, rotates it left to Pope. Pope trying to go against Scholga. Drives, shot, up, and no good. Rebound fought for, and Scholga comes away with it. Here comes Utah State. Scholga leaves it back for Ashworth. Ashworth outside the three-point line, back to Scholga. Aggies up 55-52, 20 seconds on the shot clock, 10-20 left in the game. Bounce pass to Ashworth at the logo. Ashworth clearing out with 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Crosses over his man, gets to the free throw line, and draws the foul. Great job by Stephen Ashworth. Isolation dribble, able to draw the foul.
Yeah, did a good job. I think that was Stain guarding him. Was really, really handsy with Stephen. I think he recognized that, and so he tried to take advantage of it. Gooden,
who took a brief rest, is back into the game. They can't leave him out of the game for too long. 10-12 left in the game. Outlet pass to Funk. Funk outside the three-point line. Has been pretty quiet since that big first half. RJ Idlerock nearly took the 3, instead hands to Akin. Akin driving against Christensen, kiss off the glass, no good, wouldn't go for him. Christensen altered that shot with his size. Here comes Gooden, quickly in transition. Puts his foot on the gas, drives, out of bounds, off of who? Ashworth. They're going to call a foul on Ashworth.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. 55-52, and that'll send Gooden to the line for a 1-and-1. Aggie fans not pleased with the officiating in this one. 55-52, 9:55 left to go in the game. Gooden, who had 20 points in the first half, has not scored here in the second half. He can end that here with a free throw. His first free throw is missed, and Scholga pulls away. And a foul is going to go against Christensen. That'll be number 4 on the rebound. Makeup call. I'm kidding. That was a...
Those are Tommy, rip your face off, Tommy. Yeah, that was... Aggies will take that one.
Christensen's got to go sit down.
He's got to be kind of frustrated, honestly. I know this is a game I'm sure he was looking forward to and hasn't produced and gotten some foul trouble. That might have been a frustration foul.
Yep. Funk outside the three-point line. Hands to Scholga. Scholga gets a screen from Akin. Scholga dancing behind the three-point line. Nice crossover. Needs somebody to help him out. He leaves it for Ashworth. Ashworth steps back. Get in there. Yes, sir. Wham, bam, Tanaham. Ashworth buries the 3. And the Aggies up by 6, 58-52. Coming around the 3 is Gooden. Still hammering the dribble. Leaves it left to Gonzalez. Gonzalez, outlet pass down low to Gooden. And misses the shot at the rim. Ball tipped around, finally controlled. Akin slips it over to Funk. Funk to RJ. RJ driving. RJ floater at the rim. Airballs it. Misses it badly. And here comes Utah Tech going the other way. Swing it cross court to Gooden. Gooden the three in transition. And what do we got? The three is going to count. And they're going to be a foul. Okay, so does the three ball count? They're going to call a foul on Ashworth. It's 58-52. I do not think they will count the three. The foul will come before the three.
Yeah.
So Ashworth gets hit with the foul. It actually saves Utah State a little bit. Ashworth's going to have to take a seat with 4 fouls. And that will send Leader to the line for a 1-and-1. Here's the free throw by Leader. It is good. And one more coming up. 58-53, 5-point lead. Aggies had their largest lead of 6 just moments ago with 9:01 left in the half.
Big point in the game to have Steven go to the bench. See who steps up now for...
Second free throw up and good. But yeah, you're right. These are critical moments with Ashworth with still 9 minutes left to go in the game, getting his 4th foul.
Yeah.
58-54. Max Scholga is going to probably have to play some big minutes here too. Scholga outside the three-point line, gets to the free throw line on the drive, leaves it back for Funk. Funk tries to drive. Funk cut off and double teamed. Back to RJ. RJ Eilerock steps back. RJ floater off the glass, gets it to go. Couple big buckets here from RJ Eilerock. Aggies back up by 6, 60-54. Utah Tech has only made 1 out of their last 9 field goals. Gooden's going to try to change that here. Comes around a screen, gets to the elbow, kicks it left, has a man wide open, it's Leader, and he buries the 3 from the right side. And it's 60-57, back to a 3-point game. Utah Tech not going away quietly in the night here, folks. John Judkins, former Aggie, coach of Utah Tech, coming to midcourt, coaching up his team. Max Scholga on the right side, puts his foot on the gas, tries to drive, leaves it for Akin. Akin gets in there, lays it up, but they're going to call a foul before the layup. And that will be the 16th foul on Utah Tech. Put 20 back on the clock with 8:04 left in the game. Aggies will inbound underneath their own bucket. Rylan Jones out of this game due to injury. Stephen Ashworth out of this game with 4 fouls as of right now. There's going to be some critical moments here. Inbound to Funk. Funk, baseline 3. It's up. It's good. Taylor Funk, the baseline 3. And the Aggies back up by 6, 63-57.
This is the kind of possession the Aggies need to get a stop in.
Gooden to Alfrey, who's back into the game. Hands back to Gooden. Gooden, who's got 20 points on the night tonight, but all 20 in the first half. Gonzalez loses the handle. Ball's on the court. It's going to be a jump ball, and that'll be Utah State's basketball on alternating possession when we come back. 63-57. Aggies lead by 6. More of an entertaining, drama-filled game than we would have thought, but boy, we got a fun one tonight. It's Utah State leading by 6 on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. (63-57) Aggies lead by 6. Fun game tonight. Probably a little bit more drama than Aggie fans were expecting, but you can't say you haven't been entertained with this one.
No, Utah Tech's played a very good game. They've kept it kind of muddled and ugly a little bit. Utah State hasn't played a clean game. Starting to get a couple stops, created a little bit of separation. and able to get the stop the last time down the court, so have a chance to start pulling away, take it from 6 to 8 or 9 points.
That's your Aggie scoring summary, brought to you by your Utah Pork Producers. From farm to fork, Utah Pork Producers committed to providing nutritious pork products to Aggie fans and families across the state. Visit utahporkproducers.org. Blake Anderson here tonight, head coach of the Utah State football team. Came and harassed us at halftime, wanted to know the names of the officials so he could bark at them. I'm not even joking.
I know.
He said, look, I can't yell at him too much at a football game, so I'm going to know their names. He wanted to know their names specifically so he could make specific accusations.
I don't know how you could yell at Tommy.
All right, here we go. Aggies with a 6-point lead and the ball. Ball nearly is stolen away. Pass to Akin. Akin, two-handed dunk at the rim. Great job by Funk collecting a pass that was nearly stolen away. Slips it to Akin. Akin with the dunk. Aggies up by 8, 65-57. Gooden coming around the screen. Leaves it for Leader. Then back to Pope. Pope on the left side. Trying to slip it to Alfer. He can't get it to him, so Gooden comes back to midcourt to collect. Comes to the right side. Aggie switch. Funk on Gooden. Tries to go to work against him. Puts the shot up. No good. And Funk tips the rebound to himself. Outlets it to Shulga, to Hamoda. Hamoda on the right side. Hamoda tries to drive. Hamoda double team. Up top to Shulga. Swing it cross court to Funk. Funk gets to the baseline. Leaves it to Akin, but the ball deflected away. And Bairstow's able to come back to the backcourt to retrieve. Shulga with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Shulga driving and Shulga drawing the foul. And Shulga will go to the line for a 1-and-1 with Utah State now in the bonus. 17th foul on Utah Tech with 6:43 left to go, and the Aggies lead by 8. Shulga stepping up the line for 2 big free throws here. Aggies on the court right now. Dan Akin, Taylor Funk, Max Shulga, Z Hamoda, and Sean Bairstow. First free throw is good. One more coming up. Again, in case you're just joining us, Rylan Jones left the game early after taking an elbow to the face. Had to be helped to the locker room. We do not have a status on him. And Stephen Ashworth is dealing with foul trouble as Shulga makes both free throws. 10-point game, 67-57. And Christensen has to come back into the game. It's now or never for Utah Tech to try to get themselves back in this game. Crossing the timeline is Gooden. Gooden met by Shulga. Hands to Leader. Leader outside the three-point line. Gets around Funk. Drives, and they're going to get Funk with the foul. Kind of give him a hip check on the drive. And the Aggies lead by 10, but here comes Utah Tech to try to cut it to single digits.
Both teams shooting really well. Utah Tech 13 of 16 from the free throw line. Utah State 8 of 9.
You could say Utah Tech is having just a banner night from the free throw line tonight, right? Leader's free throw, good.
You tried.
I tried. One more coming up for Leader. Second free throw, cuts it to a 9-point game. Trying to get it to 8 here. Both teams in the bonus at this point. And here comes free throw number 2. It is up, and it is good. And so Taylor Funk will inbound to Shulga with the score 67-59. 15 of 18 from the free throw line is Utah Tech. 8 of 9, as Spencer just mentioned. Funk outside the line, pulls Christensen out of the paint. We'll try to line him up. Takes the 3 over the top of Christensen. Won't go for him. And the rebound pulled down by Christensen. Hands off to Gooden. Here comes Utah Tech. They're going to try to make one big push here. Try to get themselves back in this game. Gooden with the 3. Tries to get it right back, and he does. 5-0 run by Utah Tech. Aggies had the lead to 10. It's now back to 5, 67-62. Gooden's first points here in the second half. He's got 23 on the game after that amazing first half performance with 20. Shulga double team, needs to swing it cross court to Hamoda. Hamoda, crossover, elbow jumper is good. Z Hamoda, big shot by Z, snapping that 5-0 run, pushing the lead back to 7, 69-62. You try to hold to the under 4 to get Ashworth back in.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're thinking. Till the 4-minute mark.
Gooden tries to spin around Akin, finally has to give it back to Leader. Leader's had a nice game in this night. Outlets Christensen, who throws down the two-handed dunk.
Max did all he could to try to stay in front of him, but Christensen's just really big body to deal with for longer than a few seconds for a guard.
Christensen's first points of the night on a big dunk, 69-64. Swing it cross-court, bad cross-court pass, stolen away by Utah Tech. 3-on-1 fast break, no-look pass. Gooden misses the dunk at the rim, and it will go out of bounds. Whose ball? Utah State's ball? Yes, sir. Gooden misses the dunk at the rim. 69-64.
Our listeners didn't know this, but in warm-ups, we watched the Utah Tech team. How many dunks did they miss in warm-ups, Scotty? They did. I know that's a coincidence, but I'm not joking. They missed 8 to 10 dunks in warm-ups that we watched. Happened to miss one in the game as well.
69-64. Utah State leads by 5. If Utah State's able to hold on and win this game, that's going to be a moment we're going to talk about. Ashworth back into the game. Scholge goes baseline, leaves it back for Funk. Funk drops 3. Yes. Taylor Funk buries the 3, and the Aggies lead by 8, 72-64. Taylor Funk's got 18 points on the night tonight, 5 of 10 from 3. Gooden outside the three-point line. Aggies don't show up. He takes the 3 and misses it, but what a rebound by Christensen. Out to Gonzalez. He'll take the 3 and knock it down. Oh, man, Christensen has been spectacular tonight. So has Utah Tech from beyond the three-point line. They're 10 of 19, whereas Utah State is 12 of 28. And it's a 5-point game, 72-67, with 4 minutes left to go. 72-67. Leave to Akin. Akin, his layup, up and in, and draws the foul. And by the way, great job not just attacking the rim where he could get hit with the charge. Able to maneuver his body to the left side and get the layup in the bucket.
Yeah, great Euro step by Akin and strong enough to be able to finish it. Not an easy play, but great job.
74-67's our score as we go to our final media timeout. Aggies lead by 7 with a free throw coming up on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. At H&RBlock.com. H&R Block of Logan, owned and operated by proud Aggie alumni. Aaron's the guy, and Aaron's a good dude. I had a chance to chat with him. He actually sponsored block kicks during the football season. So they're like, hey, anytime Aggies block a kick, you got to talk about H&R Block. I thought, okay, you don't really block a lot of kicks, but then Ike Larson came and was blocking like everything this year. So
it was the reverse jinx.
H&R Block got a lot of love this year, thanks to Ike Larson out of Skyview, who's a second-team all-defensive team in the Mountain West Conference. Utah State will probably know on either late Saturday or Sunday where they're going bowling.
First assist double-double game since Sam in 2019.
By the way, Max Scholge has got himself a double-double, 10 points, 10 assists, and that is the first double-digit assist night for a Utah State player since Sam Merrill. No big deal, did it back in 2020. Here comes Dan Akin with a big free throw, trying to put Utah State back up by 8. Akin's free throw is up and leaves it way short, tipped around and tries to keep it in play. Scholge, and it goes off of Gooden out of bounds, and it will stay with Utah State with 3:57. That's almost as good as a made free throw, getting another 30 seconds to be able to take off the clock.
Great intentional miss by Dan to get the extra possession. Can we say that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Ashworth comes around the screen, works to the right side. Ashworth dealing with 4 fouls, leaves it for Akin. Up top to Hamoda. Hamoda near the U-State logo with 9 seconds on the clock. Hamoda steps back, takes the 3. Oh, did not go, but another offensive rebound to Akin, lays it up and in. Funk with the offensive board, leaves it for Akin. Akin with the layup. And the Aggies up by 9, 76-67, 3:30 left. Trying to slip it to Nichols. Nichols drives. And wow, that is a really, really quick foul against Funk, against Nichols, and that will send Nichols the line for free throws.
It looked like a lot and a little ticky-tack, and it probably was, but honestly, Funk got his forearm and was leaning into him, and when you see him stop from being vertical to leaning in, the ref is going to call that.
So Nichols 2 for 2 on the night tonight. On the season, 19 of 21. Not the guy you want to send to the line as he makes the first free throw. One more coming up. 76-68. And Nichols can make this a 7-point game with 3:28 left. Still a ton of time left in this one. Second free throw by Nichols. No good. Christensen with the offensive rebound. Leaves it back to Nichols. Big offensive rebound there for Utah Tech. And a travel. What do we got? Oh, they did not reset the shot clock. They need to put 13 on the shot clock and say it's not a full reset. 14 on the shot clock. And Utah Tech will inbound underneath their own bucket. 76-68, 8-point game for Utah State. Gooden looking to inbound. Finally gets it to Gonzalez. Works the left side, trying to post up Christensen. He collects. Christensen with his back to the basket. Leaves back to Nichols. Nichols back to Christensen. Christensen driving against Akin. Takes the long shot and gets it to go. Doing his best Akeem Olajuwon impersonation out there with the spin and the jumper. And it's a 6-point game, 76-60 with 3 minutes exactly left in this one. Aggies have made 4 out of the last 5 field goals. And they're going to need to get some buckets here. Ashworth gets to the elbow, leaves it back to Funk. Funk, who's been tremendous here in the second half with a couple big shots. He drives into the lane. Leaves it for Akin, wide open, two-handed dunk. Akin slipped behind Christensen. That's the second big assist from Funk to Akin. And Akin's getting close to, he's at double figures with 14 points. Pass to Nichols. Nichols leaves it on the drive. Stain, and the shot blocked at the rim by Gooden. Gooden on the drive has it blocked away by Funk. Goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Utah Tech with 2:23 left to go. Aggies up by 8, 78-70. 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Can't give up second chance opportunities here either. Gooden leaves it to Gonzalez wide open and lays it up and in. Aggies got a little bit behind the 8-ball defensively, and Gonzalez is able to get the easy layup.
Yeah, Coach Henry called that out. Screen the screener action, but the players didn't execute on the defense.
Ashworth with the Aggies leading by 6, 78-72. 2 minutes left to go in the game. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Aggies trying to milk clock and also get buckets. Shulga leaves it for Hamoda. Hamoda with 10 seconds. Hamoda driving. Kicks it over to Ashworth. Wide open 3. Yes, sir! Stephen Ashworth. Cold-blooded Stephen Ashworth.
Can I say what my good friend Parley Shank calls him? Stephen Splashworth.
81-72. 9-point lead for the Aggies. Gooden gets to the elbow, retreats. Aggies 1 or 2 stops away from finishing this off. Stain to the elbow. Good defense by Shulga. Has to give it back to Gooden. Gooden has the ball knocked out of his hands, but Gonzalez is able to recollect. Leaves it back to Christensen. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Back to Gooden. Gooden's going to rise. Fire. 3. Yes! He knocks it down. 26 points. It's back to a 6-point game. 81-75 with 1:19 left to go in the game. And would you expect anything else from Utah Tech? These guys aren't messing around tonight. Timeout on the court. We'll take a 30-second timeout on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. 25. Aggies just can't seem to put the Trailblazers away. They keep hanging in there. 6-point lead, Aggies with the ball. If nothing else, you want to just take 30 seconds off the clock. Another bucket or two probably wins you this game, but my goodness. Hey, Bank of Utah and Utah State Athletics teaming up this season for Hoops for Hope. Bank of Utah last year donated $1,500 to the family place. Big thanks to Bank of Utah for their support of Utah State Athletics and the Cache Valley community.
Yeah, you're right. If you're the Aggies, the clock is your friend. Utah Tech's going to put full court press on. You want to get it in, get it across, and run that clock as much as possible.
So here comes the press. Ashworth needing to get it to Funk. Funk gives it back to Ashworth. Ashworth brings the ball quickly down the court. Gooden meets him at half court. 20 seconds on the shot clock. 1:09 left in the game. Ashworth comes around Gooden. Still at the U-State logo. Gets a screen, leaves it right. Shulga takes the three. No good. Looked good for a moment, but it wouldn't drop for him. And here we go. 6-point game. Utah Tech trying to cut this to a one-possession game. 50 seconds left. Hands to Pope. Pope behind the back dribble. Z's out to guard him. Pope gets underneath the rim. Still dribbling. Lost the handle. Back up top to Gooden. 12, 11. Lost the handle, and they're going to call a foul. Wow, against Shulga. And Gooden's going to go to the line with 38.7 seconds left. And Gooden's got a chance to add to his 26-point total here. Whoa.
Yeah, that's a slip by Gooden. There was a little bit of contact, but that's a slip, and the ref unfortunately anticipated the foul when it wasn't really there.
So Gooden steps up to the line. 2 free throws. First one rattled it home, used every part of the rim, but got it to go. He's got 27 points on the night tonight.
So a question, if you're Judkins, you want to make this game as long as possible.
Yeah.
They go for a steal, and I think they foul immediately.
Second free throw, no good, off the back of the iron. Akin with a big rebound. Akin's harassed and immediately fouled by Nichols. And they identified percentage-wise the least successful free throw showed her out on the court, as Akin's going to step up to the line, and I believe that is the 19th foul. So this is the front end of a 1-and-1, 81-76. So it's a 1-and-1 opportunity for Akin here as he steps to the line. Akin on the night tonight, 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Akin, as the spectrum gets quiet, attempts the free throw, knocks it down. Big free throw, Dan Akin, 82-76. Crowd, deep sigh of relief. One more coming up. Here comes Akin's second free throw. Leaves his hand and won't go.
Ooh.
And Funk looked to be undercut, but no call. Gooden quickly in transition. Warrior leaves it left. Long three, missed. Ashworth, one-handed rebound. Big board from Stephen Ashworth with 25 seconds left. Ashworth driving. Ashworth calls the timeout. 82-76, a 6-point game as Akin goes 1 for 2, but Utah State does get a stop on the other end. You missed this, don't you? You missed this coaching.
Oh, this coaching. You just see the coach's reactions. Every little detail matters. Stevens pulling up on that side. He wanted Dan to run behind him, so he had a release pass. All of these details matter with the final 21 seconds, but Utah State's in a good position, up by 6. It's just taking care of the basketball right now. I will point out, Utah State had 11 turnovers with 10 minutes to go in the second half. They have 12 turnovers.
Yeah.
They've done a great job in the last 10 minutes of taking care of the basketball. And then at one point they had the deficiency on the rebounds, and they brought that back to even. So these last 10 minutes they have played solid basketball. Utah Tech has too.
So here comes Utah State. Will inbound on the far sideline. And let's see who will trigger it. It'll be Funk.
I always like the opportunity sending one guy long to spread the court. Yep, they do that and then bring it back. Good.
Ashworth is now double teamed, needs to get rid of it. Hands off to Funk. Funk is then immediately fouled, and that foul's going to go against Frank Stain with 16.8 seconds left, and the Aggies leading by 6, 82-76. And Funk's going to step up to the line for 2 free throws. Double bonus now for Utah State. Aggies came into this game averaging 88 points a game. They're going to break 80. They've already breaking 80 again. That's a high-scoring team. Free throw, good. Big free throw, making it a 3-possession game, 83-76. Christensen's going to check in. He's been dealing with foul trouble, but obviously you can tell this kid's there's a reason you kept an eye on him in high school.
Yeah.
Funk's second free throw is up and good, and he's got 20 points on the night tonight. Ashworth with 25, Funk with 20. Trying to inbound it to Gooden. Aggies are going to foul Gooden. So Gooden was trying to get positioning, and the Aggies were trying to double team him and make sure to keep the ball out of his hands. He slips again and draws a foul, and he'll go to the line for 2 more free throws.
Once again, a little bit of contact, but slipped more than anything in that one as well. Tommy recognized it. He's getting the guy to come and mop it up.
So Gooden with 2 free throws and makes the first one. One more coming up. Frank Stain's going to check in, 84-77. And again, close to making it a 2-possession game. Gooden's second free throw. That is up, and that is good as well. He's got 29 points on the night tonight. Somebody's got to come and inbound the ball. There comes Ashworth. Ashworth bounce pass to Funk. Funk leaves it back for Ashworth. Ashworth driving in traffic and is finally fouled. And so Ashworth goes to the line for a couple free throws. Aggies shooting 55% from the field, 42% from 3. Utah Tech 52% from 3, which has really kept them in this game. Aggies only 13 of 31. I believe that's going to be a season high in 3-point attempts for sure.
Yeah, 41%. Stephen at the line.
84-78. And Ashworth makes the first free throw. Back to a 7-point lead, a 3-possession lead with 12.7 seconds left. Ashworth will try to put that lead back to 8, and he does. 86-78. Inbound to Gooden. Gooden driving quickly. Gooden contested, hands to Gonzalez. He'll take the 3 and miss it. Rebound, offensive rebound pulled down. Swing it left. Gonzalez steps up into the 3 at the buzzer, knocks it down. Give him the 3. Why not? It's been that kind of game. 86-81 is going to be the final. It may not be pretty, but a win's a win. You'll take it.
Absolutely. I think Utah State very fortunate to be able to pull this one away. It was ugly, and we all expected it to happen, but we didn't expect it to happen this way.
86-81. Utah State challenged in every way.